All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Dom coming back with another video, and this is my Buffalo Bills at Miami Dolphins post-game recap. Thursday night football, week 2. We're coming off of a 34-28 win over the Arizona Cardinals, so this is back-to-back games where we scored 30 plus, and now we're coming off of a win 31-10 over the Miami Dolphins. First of all, I want to say prayers up to Tua Tagovailoa. He tried to beat Josh Allen, and he put his head down, tried to ram through Damar Hamlin, and Tua has a concussion. So prayers to Tua Tagovailoa and his family. But honestly, the poor kid, I honestly think he needs to retire. He's gonna hurt himself, honestly. But I've heard all week, or the last 4 days, this isn't the same Bills team. There's no way in hell they're going to beat the Miami Dolphins, especially in Miami, especially with Tua Tagovailoa. We've lost too many people on defense. We've lost too many people on offense. Let me tell you something. We still have Khalil Shakir. We still have Dalton Kincaid. We still have Josh Allen. We still have James Cook, who had three touchdowns tonight. So, he had 2 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown. And the first drive, Tua threw an interception. The second drive, they scored a touchdown, tied the game. Third drive, he threw an interception. Then he threw a pick 6 that put the game away for the Buffalo Bills. Devin Achane was 22 carries for 96 yards and no touchdowns. Tua Tagovailoa was 17 of 25, 145, 1 touchdown. Devin Achane, 7 receptions, 69 yards, and a tutty. In the first quarter, it was 7-7. The Bills outscored the Dolphins 17-3. In the second quarter, at halftime, it was 24-10, the Bills. In the third quarter, the Bills scored 7, made it 31-10, and that was your final. There was no scoring in the fourth quarter. 31-10, the Buffalo Bills blow out the Miami Dolphins in Josh Allen Stadium in Miami, Florida. Josh Allen is their daddy. And let me tell you what, the AFC East runs through Orchard Park, New York until further notice, because the Miami Dolphins and their fans like to talk all this shit. Oh, we're going to blow the Bills out. They ain't got nobody. Right here, Dolphins. But that's all I've heard on social media and everything else. You know, and it's crazy. It's crazy. But passing, let's go for the home team first. Tua Tagovailoa was 17 of 25, 145 yards, 5.8 yards per average, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and a 56.7 rating. Skylar Thompson was 8 of 14, 80 yards, 5.7 yards per average, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 73.5 rating. Rushing, Devin Achane had 22 carries for 96 yards. He averaged 4.4, and his long was 17 and no touchdowns. Tua Tagovailoa, 2 carries for 17 yards, 8.5 average, and his long was 11. Tyreek Hill, 1 carry for 12 yards. His long was 12, average 12. Wright had 5 carries for 4 yards, 0.8 average, and 8 was his long. Jalen Waddle, 1 carry, 4 yards. Skylar Thompson, 1 carry, 4 yards. And Ingold, 2 carries, 2 yards. Receiving, Devin Achane had 7 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown. His average was 9.9 and his long was 16. Jonnu Smith had 6 receptions, 53 yards, 8.8 average, and his long was 15. Jalen Waddle had 4 receptions, 41 yards, 10.3 average, and his long was 21. Tyreek Hill, 3 receptions, 24 yards, 8 average, 10 long. Dubose had 1 reception, 13 yards. Wilson had 2 receptions, 12 yards. Smythe had 1 reception, 8 yards, and Robbie Chosen had 1 reception, 5 yards. And people said that this Bills defense, with losing so many in the offseason, couldn't stop Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Well, guess what? Jalen Waddle only had 41 yards and Tyreek Hill had 24. The Bills have success against these guys. Okay? I tell you that right now. The Buffalo Bills always have success against these guys, no matter who they have in their offense or in their defense, because Ed Oliver is still on the defensive line. Von Miller is back. He had a sack tonight, but he had a few rushes. He's looking like he's back to the Von Miller we wanted last year. Daquan Jones, AJ Epinesa, all them guys, Ryan, Toohill, stuff like that. Casey Toohill. Defense, Long had 11 total tackles, 11 tackles to assist. Brooks had 6 tackles to assist. Holland, 4 tackles, 3 assists. Jordan Poyer, 4 tackles, 1 assist. Fuller, 4 tackles to assist. Jalen Ramsey, 3 tackles to assist. May, 2 tackles to assist. Kohu, 2 tackles. Saylor, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Robinson, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Hand, 1 tackle. Campbell, 1 tackle. The other Campbell, 1 tackle. Bell, 1 tackle, 1 assist. And Agba, 1 tackle. Kicking, Sanders was 1 of 1 a field goal for 34 yards and 1 for 1 on extra points. Punting, Bailey had 1 punt for 48 yards and 1 inside the 20. So the Bills didn't have any turnovers, and Josh Allen didn't get sacked. Josh Allen was able to spread the ball around again, although the offense didn't do much because James Cook ran the ball so much. Let's look at the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen was 13 of 19 for 139 yards. He averaged 7.3 yards per average, 1 touchdown, none interceptions, and a 107.1 rating. So he didn't throw any interceptions again. So that's good. Without having to force the ball to Stephanie Diggs. I told you in a recent video that his interceptions are going to go down this year because he don't have to force the ball to Stephanie Diggs. Rushing, James Cook had 11 carries, 78 yards, 7.1 average. His long was a 49-yard run, and he had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Ray Davis had 9 carries, 29 yards. Khalil Shakir, 1 carry, 2 yards. Josh Allen, 2 carries, 2 yards. Ty Johnson, 1 carry, minus 1 yard. And Mitchell Trubisky, 2 carries, minus 2 yards. Receiving, Khalil Shakir, 5 receptions, 54 yards, 10.8 long, or 10.8 average, and 21 was his longest. Ty Johnson, 1 reception, 33 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 4 receptions, 33 yards. His average was 8.3. His longest was 9 yards. James Cook, 1 reception, 17 yards and a touchdown. Curtis Samuel, 1 reception, 3 yards. Ray Davis, 1 reception, minus 1 yard. Defense, Dorian Williams, 10 tackles, 5 assists. Damar Hamlin, 10 tackles, 2 assists. Damar Hamlin was all over the field tonight. I was so impressed with how Damar Hamlin played tonight. But Dorian Williams, 10 tackles, 5 assists. Damar Hamlin, 10 tackles, 2 assists. Balin Spector, 10 tackles, 3 assists. We lost Terrell Bernard in this game to an injury. That's why Balin Spector came in. Christian Bedford, 7 tackles, 1 assist, and an interception. Rasul Douglas, 6 tackles, 2 assists. Taylor Rapp, 5 tackles, 2 assists. Cam Lewis, 4 tackles, 1 assist. Greg Russo, 4 tackles, 2 assists. AJ Epinesa, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Ed Oliver, 3 tackles and a sack. Austin Johnson, 2 tackles. Terrell Bernard, 2 tackles. Von Miller, 2 tackles and a sack. Casey Toohill, 2 tackles. Daquan Jones, 1 tackle, 1 assist. Cole Bishop, 1 tackle. Tyler Bass, 1 tackle, 1 assist. And Jamarcus Ingram, no tackles, no assists, no sacks, but 2 interceptions for Jamarcus Ingram. Kick returns. Ray Davis had 1 return for 25 yards. Kicking, Tyler Bass was 1 for 2 in field goals. And he had 4 for 4 on extra points. Sam Martin had 3 punts for 149 yards. His average was 49.7. His long was 65. 1 touchback, and 2 inside the 20-yard line. So, but as far as time of possession and stuff like that goes, the Miami Dolphins were dominating the Bills, but they had the interceptions and everything and the turnovers. Buffalo just went in there and absolutely destroyed them. And I was hearing all week long, you barely beat a shitty team like the Arizona Cardinals. You're not going to beat Miami, blah, blah, blah. This is Miami's division, blah, blah, blah. This is the year the domination starts for Miami, blah, 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 blah. Right here, the AFC East runs through Buffalo. Period. End of story. I don't want to hear another word of it. Miami Dolphins fans can now shut the fuck up because they cannot beat Daddy Joshua Patrick Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So they need to shut up. Talked all that shit, how this was going to be... I've seen Dolphins fans say this was going to be 60-10 Miami, 50-7 Miami, 48-0. I've even seen somebody go as far as 80-7. I've seen Dolphins fans say. You know, Sean McDermott, it doesn't matter what kind of talent he has on the defense. He always gets the best out of his players. Never underestimate a Sean McDermott defense. I've been telling these fools. We don't need weapons. Sean, you don't underestimate a Sean McDermott defense. What they did on Thursday Night Football in front of the world was amazing. Now, I do hope they sign a quarterback. I hope they don't go on our practice squad and grab Mike White, which they may do, because we do have Mike White. And now that Tua is concussed and has a concussion, they need a quarterback. So I hope they don't go after Mike White, because I want Mike White on our practice squad in case, heaven forbid, one of ours gets hurt like Mitch Trubisky or whatnot. But I have a feeling you're going to see Mike White once again, a Miami Dolphin, because I think they're going to go raid our practice squad, because if we're such a bad team, everybody wants our players, but yet we're such a bad team that they take our players. And I don't see why any team would want players from a bad team. People say we're not winning the division this year. The Bills are done. They're toast. They're cooked. They've lost too much in the offseason. We're 2-0. We're 1-0 in the division. And now we got 11 days, well, 10 days to rest before we play the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football. Back-to-back Florida teams. And I think the defense is going to be ready for that one. So game ball to the defense and James Cook. 3 touchdowns for James Cook. But, the main game ball I have to give to that Buffalo Bills defense. They showed up, they showed out, and Damar Hamlin, he looked great. Hopefully, he can look like that against Jacksonville. The return of Gabe Davis, and then we go on Sunday Night Football to play the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. That's going to be another tough one, but we have had success recently against the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. But last year we lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. This year, I think we'll beat Jacksonville, and we're going to go, I believe we'll go to 3-0, start our season 3-0, and then, but even on Dolphins YouTube channels, all I heard was Buffalo Bills fans don't understand, what's about to happen on Thursday Night Football to the Buffalo Bills, and this, we don't understand, it's going to be a total and complete domination when the Miami Dolphins put 80 up on the Bills and shit like that. This team isn't talented. They've lost too much. Josh Allen is trash and whatnot. Josh Allen is your daddy, and you need to refer to him as such. I don't even want to hear Miami Dolphins fans refer to him as anything else but their daddy. And that's final. So guys, I'm going to drop it here. Comment in the comment section below on what you think. And as always, if you like my videos, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a video. Guys, if the Miami Dolphins do end up getting Mike White off our practice squad, I do hope they bring that Anthony Brown, I think his name is, back to our practice squad. The guy we got from the Vegas Raiders, who we brought in for a game with Ben DiNucci. I hope they bring him back and put him on the practice squad. If the Miami Dolphins do end up snagging Mike White from our practice squad due to the Tua Tagovailoa injury. But comment, like, subscribe. Complete and utter domination by that Buffalo Bills defense. But honestly, and this is sincere, I do, wish to a speedy recovery, but I think the kid really just needs to retire. I mean, health is more important than football. This is above football. This is more than football. This is bigger than football. Health is bigger than football. So guys, comment, like, subscribe. Go Bills. Let's get ready for Monday Night Football, Week 3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go Bills. Let's beat the Jags.